Regardless of the spread, Oklahoma isn't going into the Red River shootout scared or intimidated in the least. That's just the way they are and the respect that they've earned and the tradition that they've garnered. But if we're being realistic, their path to victory over Texas is a lot more narrow than it is on Texas's side. For the Sooners to pull off the upset, this game needs to be slow. It needs to be ugly, physical, and borderline monotonous. The script needs to be somewhat similar to what Arkansas did against Tennessee or Kentucky did against Ole Miss. A track meet in this game is a death sentence for Oklahoma, not because they aren't capable of scoring some points or don't have good players on offense, but over 4 quarters, I don't think they have enough to keep up with the Longhorns in a score fest. Now, the Sooners' offense has to stay on schedule. We all know that, it's obvious. But how they handle the clock on each offensive possession can keep them in the game longer. Run the hell out of the ball, including quarterback design runs. Let that clock bleed and snap it under 15 seconds each time on the play clock. And you'll make Texas get greedy, because the more you limit Sarkisian's offensive time on the field, the more likely Texas is to force something to you or try and do too much to get it going. That isn't playing scared or nervous. It's playing smart. This is chess, not checkers. And the longer Oklahoma sticks around in this game, the more game pressure and the more nervous Texas is going to get, because after all, Oklahoma is the big underdog heading into this one. Now, rivalry games have a weird way of equalizing teams that really aren't equal. And if Hawkins Jr. can just throw it well enough to maintain some semblance of balance and extend drives, Oklahoma can find a way to win this game. But once again, that path is pretty narrow. If Texas keeps playing complementary football and has a good day at the office with Quinn Ewers back at the helm, Oklahoma is in wait until your father gets home type trouble. But Venables is going to have this team ready and this defense ripping and roaring to go. So to the Sooner faithful out there, the best formula in this game is the ugliest one, the low-scoring one, the one that makes you turn away at every collision. And this team is capable of mucking it up. Let's see if they can do it in the best shootout around. David Cone, former Michigan quarterback, he doesn't mind a shootout. And then my brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crain, has survived a couple shootouts. David,
that's true.
When
really? Love the 7 dude.
Yeah, I love this daisy chain. David, when you look at this matchup, and we have a full preview of what to expect schematically, what's going to happen, it just feels like if it starts going up and down early, even if Oklahoma's having success, and I know they're beat up on the outside still at wide receiver, they were down basically everybody at the Auburn game, I'm just not seeing a game that gets in the high 20s or even more than that, behooving Oklahoma if they want to win it, because gravity is a real thing.
Man, this is a top 5 rivalry in the sport. I can't wait for this one. These two teams are about to get after each other. For Oklahoma to win the football game, I'm looking at 3 stat categories that I think they need to win. First off, time of possession. Second off, third down percentage, which if you win that helps you win time of possession.
Vandy.
And then turnovers. And no team has won all 3 of those categories against Texas this year. That's one of the reasons they're undefeated. And the only category, or the only time that Oklahoma's lost all 3 of those was in their loss against Tennessee. Almost lost all of them against Auburn, but they had the pick 6. That helped them win the turnover battle, and that's what ended up winning the football game for Oklahoma on the road. On the turnover battle specifically, if Oklahoma doesn't win that, let's just say that ends up even at 0-0 or 1-1, then to me it really, it's sort of, you got to thread the needle in some other area, such as like score a touchdown in the red zone where special otherwise, exactly, like you have to do something on special teams, score a touchdown in the red zone where otherwise you would have kicked a field goal in that scenario. And then, I, like so many around the country, am really interested to see what Quinn Ewers is going to look like when he goes out there. He's going to start the football game. What does that mean? How healthy is he? I know that's the low-hanging fruit talking point of this game, but to me, Oklahoma's chances of creating turnovers and winning that turnover battle greatly increase if Arch Manning is the quarterback and not Quinn Ewers.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we talked about Texas having a chance to win a national championship with Quinn Ewers right now and Arch in the future. I think it's too much asking Arch to do all these big things right now, even though he's...
Which Texas could still win with him out there.
They could still win with Arch in this game, but as far as
maybe more quarterback run, maybe even design, but also scrambling. It would behoove Oklahoma to turn it into an uglier game if Arch is out there.
And
right?
Blaine, I want to go a little bit now. I know you're going to get into the schematical aspect of it as well. But I want to go kind of the mental side of it here. This whole offseason with Texas and Oklahoma coming into the league, and I still believe we're right, and it's going to be vindicated throughout the rest of the year. Everybody was talking about Texas's ability to come in and win the league year one, and that Oklahoma, obviously with Jackson Arnold, which that experiment didn't work out, that came to fruition, having to break in a new offensive line, they haven't been amazing, even though they're trying to get healthier and trying to get healthier. Oklahoma was looked at as the team that would struggle the most coming into it, and they still might. But right now, if you're an Oklahoma fan, or you're an Oklahoma player, or an Oklahoma coach, is there not a better way to come in and throw an absolute haymaker, not just to Texas, which is a huge rival, and we know it's going to be emotional, but to the country and the SEC, that regardless of what everybody said about Texas before the year, please do not forget who's been really whipping their ass over time and time again, and that's Oklahoma.
Yeah, sooner or later you can say what you want about a team. At the end of the day, if you're an Oklahoma fan, that team's going to have to step on the same field with you and beat you in a four-quarter football game. And the biggest thing to me is Oklahoma, you love to walk in this game as an underdog with the underdog mentality. And the real question is, does Texas walk in this game a little bit overconfident with a 14.5 spread, which I don't know if they will, since this game is a rivalry game. You never know what happens in these games. But I look at Oklahoma right now, and there's a couple of things I'm looking at if you're going to win this game. Y'all brought them up already. Time of possession is huge. I think Oklahoma this year has been efficient in holding the ball, being able to run the ball. It's another thing. Dynamic play calling, right? Can you get this Texas defense off balance? Has Hawkins Jr. proved enough in the passing game to make Texas actually worried about it? And the next thing is huge when it comes to games like this. We don't talk about it enough. Special teams. It's field position. Can you win the field position battle in this game? If you're Oklahoma, you can do that. Make Quinn Ewers and this Texas offense go all the way down the field and earn it. And from a Brent Venables standpoint, how much can you mix up the looks on defense? Can you put real pressure on Quinn Ewers? Because that's where Quinn has struggled somewhat, especially in this game last year. You put real pressure on him, he will put balls where he's not supposed to. But Oklahoma, the question is, to y'all, they're so beat up at wide receiver. I'm pretty sure 3 or 4 of their top guys aren't going to be there this Saturday. How do you overcome that, right, against this Texas defense? Because sooner or later, you're not going to be able to sit back there and just run the ball with Hawkins Jr., quarterback power, spread, whatever you want to do. You're going to have to put some pressure on this back end. Does Oklahoma have the guys at receiver to actually put some respect on the deep ball?
Yeah, and it's, looking at it from a game plan standpoint, I know that's what Luttrell and obviously Venables, I know he's a defensive guy, but he's the head coach. He's going to have a hand in the offense too. To me, Texas knows that. They're probably gonna load the box, right, when they get a chance to. They may play a little bit skinny on the outside in early downs as well. But if I'm Oklahoma, the screen game has got to be really good. And I'm not just talking about the wide receiver screen, obviously slip screens, things like that, especially if the run game isn't working early. Talking about just your true run game, not your quarterback run game or any RPO or zone read. You're going to have to find the way to maybe supplement that with some short passes. They're going to want to get Hawkins Jr. confident early, feeling good early, probably going to get some hitches, some slants, some quick throws out there to expand Texas horizontally, right? And then you can hit them vertically. And to me, it's not really as many shots as Oklahoma hits. How many are you going to throw just to make Texas understand that you're willing to try and take the top off every now and then, and they can't just play everything underneath and you're going to be super conservative? That's the chance you got to take if you're the Oklahoma play caller, if you're Luttrell or whoever. And David, as far as getting Hawkins Jr. comfortable, maybe getting him on the run a little bit. Getting him on the move, running some of those pick plays, getting him some easy throws, and then having some things built off that. But if I'm Oklahoma, my shot plays aren't just going to be, hey, you're going to run the vertical, we feel like we're in zero or man free, and you're going to get a chance to go one-on-one, we'll throw it over there. It's the stalk and goes off the screens. And your alternative plays on offense, your exotic plays on offense, how many times are you going to use that wheel, right, from the running back out of the backfield to try and put Texas in the spot defensively where you make it easy for Hawkins Jr. to get a chunk play through the pass game without having to go through 3 reads. But if I'm Oklahoma defensively going in this game, I know that one of the reasons that Sark is able to hit these big plays all the time, and we've talked about this, and we even talked about it in the huddle up that you did against Michigan. They do bastardized stuff. What do I mean by that? I don't mean that they're fatherless or parentless. What I mean is Texas does things in combinations down the field that go against the sound reasoning of what a DB expects an offense to do. Even on pre-snap stuff, we look at the Alabama game last year, lining up tight to stay tight. Most teams line up tight to go wide, but you know how you take Sark out of being able to hurt you on those long developing routes and those combinations that may go against your divider at safety, that may go against what you typically get from that alignment or during the stem of what the wide receiver is giving you. You get to the quarterback. You don't let those routes develop down the field. If Sark's going to kill me with the drag, dog.
Yeah.
Kill me with something quick. Don't kill me with one of these Dr. Seuss cat in the hat ass route combinations that y'all are going to run at the top out of some bunch set that for 3.5 years I've told my safety, offenses are doing this to do that. They go this way to come that way. Sark goes against that, and he uses that against defenses because he knows that's not what they practice. But you get there, like Blaine said, by getting to Quinn Ewers. And you hit him, and you hit him, and you hit him, and you hit him, because Quinn will find a way to get out of a game if you hit him long enough.
I think that's such an important point to bring up because the biggest Texas wins that we've seen over the last 2 years, teams got 0 sacks on them. I mean, they went on the road and beat Alabama. Alabama had 0 sacks. I don't think the kid's jersey was dirty at all. Michigan had 0 sacks. With their front seven, Michigan had no sacks on them in Ann Arbor. Go to that playoff game last year, though. Washington beat Texas. They had multiple sacks on Quinn Ewers that game. I think that's such an important point.
He's a rhythm shooter, man. You got to get him off his spot.
No doubt, man. And just from a broader perspective here, 2 years ago, Venable's first year, that was the 49-0 blowout where Texas really got him
and they
good.
just weren't ready.
Last year, comeback victory with Dylan Gabriel at the last second. Right now it seems like Vegas thinks we're going to be in for something in between that. Is it still at 14.5?
Yeah,
right
I
now?
believe so.
14.5. I think that line is pretty much right. You guys think it's going to be tighter than that?
Well, I like Oklahoma at plus 14.5 right now. You're going to have to wait to see our picks show.
Because of the hook.
Because of the hook.
Weird, man.
But if it's 14.5, I'm going to take Oklahoma plus 14.5. If it's 13.5, I'm going to buy it up probably to Oklahoma plus 14.5, or I'd feel okay taking Texas minus 13.5. I'm just telling you, everything is pointing to Texas being able to run the check up on Oklahoma.
That's what scares
me.
But
to me though, like this, and I know I'm from Auburn, Alabama. I know what these rivalry games are like. I talked about in the open. They have a way of equalizing teams that may not be that equal at that point in time. I just feel like Oklahoma is coming with hell behind them, and it may not be enough. If it's a track meet, I don't think it's going to be enough. But the more people just sit here and they should give Texas all the flowers. I get it. I got Texas, doing big things as well. But that's what worries me about this rivalry game. Everybody's gassing up Texas, and I'm not saying you guys, but everybody else gassing up Texas. And Oklahoma, lowly Oklahoma, just sitting over there.
If Texas won last year, I'd be a little bit more on that, which is why I took Oklahoma last year. But
that's a good point.
They're ready to come in.
No, Texas is a good football team. Trust me. I watch a day in November on every Saturday where in the Iron Bowl where we go play a better football team. And we somehow figure out a way to play with them for 4 quarters because of what that game means. Yeah. And what this game means, 14.5 seems like too much to me.
Yeah.
Like even we know Texas is a better team. Hell, I remember, what was it, 2015? Texas was a 17-point dog in this game, and what did Texas end up doing? Winning that football game.
Games are weird,
This stuff is just weird. To me, I wouldn't touch the spread. I would play with an over and under. I think Texas is going to win the game, but I think Venables is going to have these boys ready.
And Stutzman, Mason
and
some of the cats they got on defense.
It means more.
Yeah.
Like trust me, and I'm saying that both these teams to the SEC, this game just means more. It doesn't matter really about the talent. It matters about the will. Yeah. The will you have for 4 quarters, and I think Oklahoma's going to show up.
It's a good point. The phone lines are going to open up here at 2:45 p.m. Central. It's 1-855-236-3228. We want to hear from you. I know there's a lot of people in the chat. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. But speaking of the chat, let's chat it up with Chatty Cathy over there.
All right, Chad, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you donate, it's on topic. It will get read. We're going to start the day off with Mikey Mike. What's up, man? He says, in the past 12 years, when a Red River team is favored by double digits, Texas and Oklahoma are 0-5 against the spread.
It worries me. It worries
Okay, so wait, say it one more time, because I just looked up the 2022 line, and it was 8.5, and Texas won 49-0.
In the past 12 years,
when it was a double digit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Favorites. It's 0-5 against the spread.
So if you've grown up in a rivalry like this, and who knows, college football's been so drunk already this year, who really knows what the hell's going to happen? The over-under you brought up, like, what's it at? What can we look at that?
Yes, I'm picking it up right now.
Because
I looked this up.
Half?
I believe so. Last time I saw it, but I looked this up. I'm going to give you all this. UTP says Oklahoma has 3 wide receivers that run a 10-4 or faster than 100 meters. They have the talent to move the ball. Even with the injuries, the issue is their offensive coordinator is a dunce.
It's 50.5.
50.5.
50.5. God, it's just, I get nervous betting this game. I don't think Latrell's a dunce. I think with Jackson and Arnold, it didn't work out, and they've done a pretty good job with Hawkins Jr. with an offensive line that has had injuries where you had to bring in a bunch of transfers, and there was a lot of change on the offensive line and at the quarterback position. Nobody's saying – that's why I wanted to make sure in the open to specify, not that I don't think Oklahoma can't score or that they have bad offensive players, but I don't think it's a crazy thing to say if you take your Oklahoma fan glasses off that you would take Texas's offense over Oklahoma's offense over a 4-quarter period in this game. And if you want to sit here and get in a fight and go tit for tat, if I'm Oklahoma, I would rather it be a low-scoring fight that goes tit for tat and it's defense on defense than Texas's offense is cooking and Oklahoma's offense is cooking. Because while I know Oklahoma's offense could probably bake a really nice cake, the one that Sark, when they're cooking, the cake he's pulling out is winning that damn British bacon show. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. You know the drill. Helps out everybody, good, bad, indifferent, whether you agree or disagree. And let's all hope that it's a little bit of both.